Hi, and welcome to Drive Facebook Live. I'm Tony Whistler, and this is my good friend Dan Vasquez. Hey, Dan, how's it going?
Hey Tony, I'm doing awesome. Hi everyone.
Good to have you on the show. We have a great guest this week. We have Matt Pierce of Tech Heads on the show, and I just want to let everybody know Matt and Dan are really good friends. They're both shop owners, and they have a really great relationship. And we wanted to get Matt on the show. Hey, Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great, Tony. How are you?
I'm great. Let's let everybody know a little bit about you, a little bit about your shop. Tell us something fun about the town you're in. Just a little rundown, please.
My shop's name is Tech Heads Automotive. We're located in Nampa, Idaho, which is just right outside of Boise, the capital of Idaho. A lot of farmers out here, a lot of rural community, but it's pretty tight-knit community. Um, I've been in business since 2016. We have two bays, two techs, service writer, and right now I'm acting manager.
Very nice, very
Yeah.
nice. Now tell me something interesting about Nampa.
I don't know. I've lived here so long, it's hard to know what's interesting about it. We have a lot of factories and let's see. We're growing really fast. Actually, the town that I'm in is considered the 10th fastest growing town in the country right now.
Well, that says a
And
lot. That makes it sound like it must be a nice place to live.
yeah, there's a lot of people moving in here. We're getting a lot of new faces,
Yeah,
definitely. A lot of new clients, definitely.
but you don't have anything like the largest ball of yarn or something like that.
No, not yet, Tony, not yet.
Something to strive for.
Yeah. I'll start working on that. Hold on, where's my
Okay.
yarn?
Make a note. Put it on
Yeah.
my weekly plan.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, well that's great.
Mhm.
Dan, you got anything for him?
Well, I don't want to jump the gun too much, but I'm hearing something about a professional award that we're going to be reaching professional status. You want to talk about that a little bit?
That would be
Yeah, I
great.
do. I'm really excited about it, actually. I really want to talk about that. I just submitted everything I needed to be able to get the professional award. I did get the effective award last year. Went to the expo in Vegas. Great time. Had an awesome time there. And course, and that was the third expo I'd been to. We've been to Texas as well. And I have to say those expos are just so great because you get to network with people, meet great people like you, Dan, and I don't know, Tony, I guess you're in there too. So
I'm okay.
yeah. But we yeah, last year was the effective and it really opened my mind to what you guys actually offer to businesses and automotive shops. Whereas the owner of an automotive shop doesn't necessarily get a whole lot of recognition and you guys recognize it. So it really boosts morale and keeps those gears moving, you know what I mean, to try to improve. And now I'm going for the professional, and I just can't believe I've been with Drive for 3 years, and to think back of when I started and everything that I accomplished up to that point, I thought I could keep going, and I just couldn't. I needed help. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to improve. And starting with Drive, they really opened my eyes to like pricing, customer base, marketing. They really get you to the next level. And that's what I really like about you guys. And I can't say enough about it, honestly. And with the professional coming up in that award, I'm just so honored, and I just can't wait to walk on that stage and get that trophy. And then the next one is the master, and I'm chomping at the bit for that one too. And um, so yeah, I'm really excited, guys.
That is really great. Well, I
Yeah.
just
I,
want
I
to let everyone know that's listening. At Drive, we have a certification program, and you move through different certifications. And of course, effective is one of them, professional, and then we have masters, a couple of even above that. But masters is really the milestone because masters is where you become fully operational as a shop. And these other certifications are beautiful and because there's steps toward getting to that state of fully operational. And one of the things that is notable is you have to do a certain amount of training, but you also have to get your shop really in shape. And we look at the numbers and we look and see how things are going. And of course, I would love to hear Dan's take on that because Dan, what is your certification level?
So my shop is a master elite status, so just one above master, and it is pretty awesome because just like Matt's doing, you start to kind of climb the ladder, take the steps, so to speak, towards these certifications. And the thing about the certifications is they are great. It does feel good to be recognized. It's a sense of accomplishment. But while this is happening, what's going on in the background, and you almost don't realize it because you kind of got your nose in the books, is that while you're gaining these certifications, your shop is becoming more and more stable the whole time, and
Exactly.
right, and more profitable typically. And so it's not just about the trophy. The trophy's great, the recognition feels good, of course, but it's really about what it's doing for your shop and how it's developing you as an owner. And I just have to say, I was sitting with you, Matt, last year at the expo and watched you get your effective award, and I was so pumped for you. And I remember you coming back and telling me, Dan, I'm going to get professional next year. And
And I'm
so,
doing
man,
it.
yeah, and you did. So I'm so
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm proud of you because that sounds weird, but I'm just so happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked that you're doing it, and I know that your shop is the results is that the shop is becoming more and more stable as a
That
result.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and the way, I mean, just to chime in with a little history of me, the way that I started was I had a socket set in my driveway and just an ambition to make money. And I mean, really, and I would go and look for work and yeah, I could go get a job, $10 an hour, but I'm gonna go, I know how to fix cars, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I might have irritated my landlord a little bit, doing it in the driveway. We all have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So I did that for a couple of years, got a little revenue, found a location, tried to run it myself. I was doing service writing, I was doing the back, the front, the everything, not even thinking about marketing or anything like that, just trying to do the best I could with every client that I had. And then I decided to hire a service writer and not even knowing what to do to hire anybody. I just took someone on and I didn't know how to treat them well or anything like that, what to pay him or anything. Um, Another year comes by and I lose the service writer. I'm by myself again. I'm gone, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. You can't just grind like this forever. So
Right.
I get with Drive and that's the thing. You can get the education right in front of you, but you got to pay attention to it. You got to implement it. And the more I implement the stuff that you guys teach, the better it gets. And like Dan was saying, it's freeing me up with my time and I don't have to be at the shop all the time. I'm considered a stage three right now, but I don't have to be there, and that opens me up to the hobbies that I have, and I have so many hobbies. I do astrophotography. I'm able to work on my sports car, get back into the passion. So a lot of owners lose the passion of even working on car. Why did I even get into this?
Yeah, it's the daily grind.
You lose it because you're just in it so much and then you're just like you get home and you're like I don't want anything to do with any of the projects that I have, no fun stuff like that, but I'm able to camp more, I'm able to hang out with my wife more, which is a huge one. It's just your guys' program is focused around the owner just being happy, and
Yeah.
if being a tech full time makes you happy, that's great, but does for me, I want to be kind of where Dan is. I want to be able to, have a self-sustaining shop. That's my goal. That's what I'm working towards because that's where my dreams are. And I
Yeah.
don't think there's any other way to get there.
That's
I
so great.
love that. Yeah. And one of the things to just to mention to Dan, once Dan got his shop into that state, right, Dan, now you can actually give back to the industry and you're doing things outside of the shop that actually are helping the industry. Like, for example, coming and guest hosting or co-hosting on Drive Facebook Live. And also you're one of the instructors here at Drive and you actually teach the classes,
Mhm.
which is really a great purpose. You want to talk about that at all?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, I'm passionate about all these things. First of all, just like Matt, just to encourage others, and a big thank you to Drive, of course, for helping me to, giving me the tools and the training that I needed to get my shop operational. And now I'm kind of enjoying the fruits of my labor. And just like Matt said, it's one thing I always say is it's nice to be able to just help people find their version of success, whatever that looks like.
Mhm.
And if that means that they're at the shop every day, not because they have to be, but because they want to be, then that's great. And my version of success, I mean, I'm living it thanks to Drive. My shop runs itself. I'm there when I want to be, but I have free time to where I can give back to the community, and I can, help people like Matt and others through instructing and doing some of the things that I do with Drive. And so it's just been an incredible experience. And I mean, one of the really cool things, about Matt, I mean, he didn't get here easily, right? He's doing the same training that I did, and I see him
Mm.
in training. I've instructed with him. You were just instructing him in a workshop last week, isn't that right, Tony?
That's correct. He did the essentials of shop management with me, and always a great attendee, always a great student. So I love having him in the class. He was very, very, very good because we had a lot of people in the class who I've only been on the program for, weeks, and so having him there and having him to be able to bounce off his experiences in the day to day was just incredible. And his value to those other students was noticeable, very noticeable. I
I
appreciate
do
that.
notice that, Tony. I notice that the more I learn, the more I want to help other people.
Yeah, that's
And I have to also say that Tony is the best drive instructor that
yes.
there is.
I
Yeah.
told him to say that before the show.
That doesn't even hurt my feelings a little
No.
bit because he really is. He really is the best instructor. He taught me.
Thank you very
And
much.
if there's any game shows out there that need a host, Tony is
Yep.
available.
I am available
Okay.
for the right price.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. But Dan, you're also a great instructor and a great
Thank
friend.
you.
So yeah,
Thank you.
and I wouldn't have met you without Drive. So yeah.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. That is so
Yeah.
great. So great. So, hey, might be a good time for a commercial break, Dan. What do you think?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do that. So hey everyone. Just want to remind everybody, next day we do have a holiday weekend coming up. So next Friday, May 22nd, we're going to be on hiatus. Give everybody a little break. Enjoy your 3-day weekends. Hopefully you got some barbecues planned or maybe a trip to the lake or something like that. But enjoy. And then we're going to be back on May 29th, same time, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. But we got a special event, and it's something that's actually kind of unprecedented. It's going to be pretty exciting. So, what it is we're going to have our first Drive Facebook Live in Spanish. And so, with the
Very
help
cool.
of some, yeah, yeah. So, with the help of some of our great instructors, we're going to have a special conversation with Uriel Mayorga. We're going to be talking about leadership and growth and what it really takes to build a successful shop. Uriel's going to share his experiences as a shop owner, some of those challenges that we all face and that he's faced personally, and what's helped him to grow his shop, which is Buddy's Auto Center, or excuse me, Buddy's Service Center.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be hosted by another one of our phenomenal instructors, Jesus Vargas, who's bilingual, and then also one of our coaches, Kimberly Gonzalez. And it's going to be a Spanish speaking episode. Is that right, Tony? Is it going to be fully
Fully
Spanish?
Spanish. Fully
Wow,
Spanish.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's so
Yeah.
great.
For those, because go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting. I'm excited because I'm going to try to see how much of it I can understand with my limited Spanish that I speak. So I'm gonna tune in and see how much I can pick up. But I think it's going to be really cool. And what a great opportunity that we have these instructors and coaches who are bilingual that can help to instruct and just have these conversations in more than one language. And I think that's it, Tony. Is there anything else I'm missing?
I think that might be it. But I do want to add, I love the idea that we're going to be interviewing Uriel because he's a great guy. I've known him for years, and he also happens to be the owner of the shop that I take my car to when it needs to be fixed. So he's close
Yeah.
by. So
Yeah, another great drive client, one that also personal friends with, just a really fun guy to spend time with, and runs a great shop. Obviously, or you wouldn't bring
Yep.
your vehicles there.
No, I would take my car to him every day. He's worked on, and I had an older HHR, so it was a great car to have him work on because he kept it running and he made a lot of money because it's an older model. It was over 10 years old when he would work on it, so it was nice. Anyway, so Matt, tell us a little bit about some. Let's drill down a little on like you going for that certification because you have to do certain workshops and they have to be completed, and tell us about how that experience has gone.
Oh yeah, before I say that though, a shout out to Uriel because I met him last Expo too, and what a tremendous guy that guy is. He's great guy. Yeah.
Oh, he's wonderful. He's a really
Yeah.
great guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
well,
gave me
thank
his
you for
number. I
that.
can contact him anytime I want. Got questions, I can ask him. And that's what's also great about Drive the Networking for sure. So, as far as the professional certification, I mean, we've increased our average RO year over year. We've let's without having it in front of me, let me think about it. Done a lot of classes, learned a lot in those classes. Um, let's see.
What's your favorite class, the one that you took that really you think had the greatest effect or impact on
There's
your
two
shop?
of them. There's two of them now. So I would have to say that Dan's class on the playbook. Dan's
Yep, there
class
it
on the
is.
playbook. What that did was open my eyes to what the next step is. Like that is the ultimate next step. If you want a shop to run itself, you've got to have an instruction manual. And with the Drive app suite and being able to organize it the way you guys have it, it makes it user friendly for the most part. And with Dan teaching it, it really opened my eyes. So that's going to be the next step for me. And then I also have to say that Chris's class on finances
Hmm.
really benefited my shop. I didn't know where my money was going. All this money was coming in, and I didn't have anything in the account. I'm like, where's my money? Like, but Chris is like Chris broke down the dime drill just like you did, Tony, in the last class, of course. But that dime drill opened my eyes, and it's like, okay, certain margins. We have to start thinking about margins here because the owner doesn't get it all. They only get a small part of it. And
Hmm.
if those other margins start eating into that other small part that the owner gets nothing. So
Yeah,
why are we working? Right?
exactly.
We're working to make money. Right? We're not doing this as a hobby, although we do enjoy it. We still are trying to make money here.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
Well, the old adage is the owner is always the last one to get paid.
yeah,
You
yeah,
got to pay all the
exactly.
other bills, and
Right.
Exactly.
it's amazing how I managed to get all my bills paid, except now I don't have any pay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, break even's not enough. We need to do a
No,
little bit better than that.
you got to do
Yeah,
better than break even.
exactly.
That's exactly right.
And
Hmm.
before time runs out here, I would like to thank my coach, Cassandra, for everything that she's done for me and how she's stuck by me and been by my side this entire time. And I meet with her weekly, and I do look forward to those meetings every week. Sometimes I don't look forward to them, like when we have a bad week or something like that, and she's like, "Hey, why did this happen?" But she really gets my gears moving and gets me thinking about what I need to be doing as an owner, and it's nice, and we know each other quite well now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassie's great.
Awesome.
I love her. She's
Yes.
been with Drive almost as long as I have, and
Yes.
we have a great friendship. She in the past has actually done instructing for me as well. Now she's like so fully focused on just coaching that she doesn't
Hmm.
instruct anymore. But she was a great instructor as well. So
Hmm.
I love her. She's great, and
Hmm.
she's a great coach.
She is. She
Yeah.
is. She's terrific, and she's patient. I like to think that she's so patient, and as an owner, my emotional state has been up and down, and she's been with me the entire time to try to keep me on the straight path, When we get emotional, we tend to not think about logic kind of goes out the window when we become emotional. And
Yeah.
when we have those hard weeks, and I have to say, particularly last year, I had a hard year with staff. It was a roller coaster as far as staff is concerned, and Cassie pushed me through it, and I can't thank her enough because I would have given up. I,
Yeah,
I
that's
literally
beautiful.
would have given up. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
That is really
yeah.
great.
We got some great coaches. One of them is actually watching right now. Lucy Mejia, one of our phenomenal drive coaches, is watching right now. So just a shout out to Lucy. Um, and then, yeah, if you don't mind me butting in a little bit, I know about some of the challenges that you were going through with staffing, and I know we talked on the phone in great detail about it. And I was
Yes.
curious if you would bring it up because I know, I mean, it's pretty incredible to receive an award like the professional award that you're going to receive. But what's even more incredible is that not only was it just like that you trained for it and you worked hard for it, but you had to overcome some huge challenges for it as well. And name the shop and we'll find the challenge, right? Because we all go through
Yep.
certain challenges, right? But pretty phenomenal, that you can, I know a lot of shops who have been down to, one technician or one employee or even zero employees and they got to start over. And I know that you were there. I know it was emotional. But I'm just curious, what kind of support, I know that Cassandra supported you really well, but what were some of like the actions that you had to take to turn things around? Because things were definitely headed in a rough direction for a minute, right?
Yeah, so I had to learn the hard lessons, Dan. And I had to learn what an employee really is. And I kind of got him in my friend zone, my old employees, and that was my
Mhm.
biggest problem. So I want to get along with my employees. I don't want to, make them think that I'm the worst person ever and they don't want to work, for me as a boss. But at the same time, you don't want them involved in your personal life, and that's where I really messed up, and that just kind of snowballed. And I can't point to one specific thing, but if I could, that's what it would be. Definitely. So with the new staff that came on, because I had a fresh, clean slate. Like I had to get rid of the staff that I had. I had to put my foot down. I lost friends. It was a tough time. And but when I started over again with your guidance, I was able to put in place things that made me look like more of a professional shop owner, more of a boss, right? And
Mhm.
now I am respected as a boss, and that speaks volumes. Because it's like now instead of like making a recommendation as to what you guys, so you guys say stuff I should do, and then I do it. The old staff would push back every single time because of the way
Yeah.
that they viewed me, right? But now it's like when I have changes, I have them, they're on board, they're bought in, as you guys like to say. They're bought in, they're ready to go. They're like, okay, what do we need to do? So now it's just up to me to get all the pieces in place of being able to get to that next level. That's what I'm working on currently.
That's great. That
Yeah,
It
really
really
is.
is. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
And Lucy does say hello, Matt. She's glad to hear that you were able to push through those challenges. Just so you know, I'm sure you'll see the comments after the show, but I thought I'd
Thank
let you
you.
know. Yeah, you
Thank you,
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
Lucy. Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was more to it, but I'm just not going to get into it for the sake of the show.
Totally.
But just know, guys that are listening, it was a lot of drama and it was a lot of heartache. But without drive, I would have shut those doors and I wouldn't even be in business anymore because it was so discouraging.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's definitely I'm just very happy to hear that you were able to get through it, and I'm glad that your shop is still around because
Yeah.
obviously there's a lot of people that rely on it. I mean,
Yes.
you support the community and the people
Yes.
need to have their car fixed and the people that work for you need to support their families and
Yes.
just so much of that. And I'm glad that you're able to keep that going. Now,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about the team you have now, and how you motivate them and how and any incentives that you have in place or any of that kind of thing like
Yeah, yeah. I've got a pretty strong bonus plan for both my service riders and my techs, although I only have one service rider. That's a big one. I buy meals on a successful week. I'll buy lunch on a Friday, definitely. And let them know how appreciative I am. We have weekly meetings every week. I let people talk. I'm an open book. I just let them, vent any frustrations that they might have because people have frustrations. You don't want to let them keep it inside. You want to let them talk about it. We have one-on-one meetings at the same time to be able to do that. All these things I never thought of doing before you guys. And how important they really are. I never really had an employer growing up or in my work experience, never really had an employer that would actually set me aside and talk to me about the operations and how I'm feeling and what's going on with me and stuff like that. So I think I've implemented a culture of, hey, I care as your boss. I care.
yeah.
And that's huge for technicians because a lot of times they're just workhorses and they have to grind and it doesn't seem like they're being seen at all. It's just like owners sort of. But yeah, they really appreciate that one-on-one with me. And there's multitudes of incentives. I mean, you can use the shop when you need to. There's policy written to be able to use the shop if you want to use it. If you need a little extra cash on the side or something, it's okay. I'll forward you some advanced money or whatever.
Yeah.
I
I was
try.
going to hit you up after the show for that, Matt.
No,
I can't
not you
remember
don't
right
work for me,
now.
Dan.
My bad.
But
Sorry.
as I care about those guys. I care about them. I've got my service rider. She has 14 years experience. I went through several. I went through five of them last year.
Mm.
So that's the staffing issues. So she's got 14 years. I have two A to C certified techs. Both of them are working towards their master certification. They're ready to go with that. That's another thing that I'm providing is training to try to let them meet their goals too. I want to know what their goals are. I want to help them achieve those goals. I care about my employees in that respect.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'd like to hear you talked about kind of your goals of reaching master, and I think that's great. What are the actual shop goals? What does that look like? Are you wanting to expand? Are you wanting to get a new
Yeah.
building? Yeah, I want to hear about that.
I would love to get a new building. I'm renting right now. And I'm not going to say anything about where I'm renting, but it is working out right now, but I would love to have my own location, Dan.
Yeah,
I dream of it.
yeah,
And we got to start somewhere, we got to do what we got to do. But yeah, I've been looking for the past year, um, and I haven't found anything yet, but it is definitely a goal of mine. And to be able to have that location that I own or that my business owns run itself without me having to stress about it is the absolute dream that I could only imagine. I could start another business if I wanted to. You guys are teaching
yeah.
me how business works. So
Right.
you're not tied to that shop. Once that shop is running itself, I might start another shop. Who knows? I might start an ice cream shop. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something I know
Yeah.
business is business, right?
It
So
is, yeah.
you guys have opened my eyes to that big time, and that's really
Mhm.
exciting to me.
That's
There's yeah. Go
that's
ahead. Do you
great
want to
because
hear?
like the fundamental, truths that exist in business, they apply to any type of business. One of the things I like about Drive though is it drills down deep on the specifics that have to do with shops so that it makes it easy to digest. But if you get it in place and you use it, everybody I've ever known who has gone through the program says the same thing. I could go start a guitar shop, or I could go start a bakery or something. They could do anything, and then maybe there's a dream they had in the past that something adjacent to car repair that they want to start.
Well, as you
Yeah,
go through your journey in this shop experience, and I know we're about done, you end up picking up other things along the way. And
Yep.
you pick up other interests and other hobbies and stuff, and you're like, maybe I should start a business doing that. Well, I'm kind of tied to this shop. I can't do anything. I need free time. So
Yeah, and that's what you'll
that's
get.
my goal. That's my
Yeah.
well,
goal.
Yeah,
That's
you're on the
awesome.
path. You're on the path. You're doing what
Yeah,
needs to
thank
be
you.
done to make it happen. You got the team in place, keep, building up those reserves for when that ultimate property shows up, you'll be able to pounce on it. That's awesome. I
Thank
can't
you.
believe I can't believe what time it is already,
Yeah,
Tony.
we've already got the half hour filled. So we're at the end of the show. Do you have any final thing you want to say to everybody before we call it a day, Matt or Dan?
It's all you, Matt.
Don't stop following your dreams.
That's a good
Just
one.
just don't
Perfect.
stop. Yep.
That's a good one. Okay, so it's actually the end of the show. I'm glad you guys all made it in. And until next weekend, you guys make a lot of money and we'll see you next Friday.